Hello everyone and welcome to something a little new here. I don't normally do these unboxing videos, uh, but for this special occasion I decided to do so. As you see, here is what I am going to be doing from now, using as a capture device from now on. The, the, uh, the, I'm just having fun with it. The Decklink Quad HDMI recorder. This is a relatively new device that should have come a week before. That should have arrived. It should have arrived around a week before, around my birthday. But well, there was a bit of back ordering and such, but it finally arrived today. So, with that, and this what I found really odd was that this was announced like early March of 2019, and it was in back order. I guess it was in a high demand. I guess. I guess. Blah 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 blah. Anyway. Now, why did I go with this little device and not any of the others, like the Elgato Game Capture 4K or the AverMedia? Well, the thing with that is that I don't have a computer that's a desktop computer. I have a laptop that with a good graphics card, and all the system requirements for 4K as I've looked around. But the thing is, I don't have any PCI slot to put it in because laptops don't have that. Desktops do. So how do I handle this? Well, like any others, I bring to you, dun, 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 and such, the hope I pronounce this right. Yeah, sorry, just the throat is all of a sudden clogged. AKiTiO nodal. Yes, just making sure. AKiTiO node Lite, which is a thunderbolt device. And I read somewhere that the AKiTiO node box, that external GPUs, that these types of boxes are what are capable, would be a solution for this. However, because not every PCI card is compatible with Thunderbolt, like AverMedia's 4K, for example, funny story, I asked them via email, I didn't even say this, and they were like, oh, this thing? Oh, this box? It pretty much boiled down to, oh, this box? Sorry, but our cards are not compatible with that. At least they were honest. I mean, better to be honest. Why not? It's best to be honest in situations like this. You don't want an angry customer, after all. And so what makes this stand out? Well, this has a lot of things. Well, but the 4 capture... Yeah, gotta remember that. Yeah, I'm just being funny. I'm just forcing in jokes. But yeah, in case you haven't noticed, I'm recording via kind of backwards. I'm well aware of this actually since the very beginning. That's via why I'm always trying to do as much as I can to do this. Yeah, dang glare. Yeah. Oh, come on. Close enough. Anyway, just getting a good view of this. Sorry if this isn't the best view, I'm using my phone. And vertically, I might add. So, it's not the best, but basically, In other words, this is a 4K 60 capture card, and it's Thunderbolt compatible. Plus, this is also HDR compatible, like the AverMedia. And if my chat with XSplit's correct, uh, even though I pretty much will need to learn to deal with it, the customize. Let me put it this way. What I liked about the Elgato Game Capture HD 60S was that pretty much the settings had very little. I kind of prefer the less custom heavy sort of things, in my opinion, because I don't want to. Because so many options, it'll take a moment to get used to them, and I haven't exactly had the best history with XSplit or others. But with this, I'm pretty much going to have to learn, more or less. Plus, with XSplit and such, it can record HDR as long as, if I interpret it correctly, as long as the card has HDR, it'll capture HDR. So with that said, this was pretty much. Sorry, I keep. Okay, that time I may have forgot, but yeah, with the HDR, maybe I should. One moment. Okay, sorry about that. But I'm gonna keep it here. Sorry for the lens thing. I'm trying to get some lighting, while at the same time making sure it's not taking up the screen. But anyway, this was the card because, in other words, it's pretty much for the person who doesn't have a desktop and only has a laptop, but has a laptop with everything. This is pretty much the card if you want 4K and your laptop technically has everything, but doesn't have the slot. So this is where this thing comes in. So as to take care of it. Now, if you don't mind, in the next scene, I will unwrap this and demonstrate me putting it in here. Yes. Whoa! Wait, what am I doing? What am I? I'm just having fun with this. Anyway, in a moment. This is what I'm most nervous about. You have to handle these sorts of things with a little care. First, this takes a little longer than. Come on! Do I just do this? Okay, I figured it out. One moment. Okay, back again. Sorry for the weird cuts, but just want to make sure I'm not doing this wrong because well, they're not exactly known for being the super durable, at least from what I know. PCI cards. Anyway, here's an look at the inside. It's because maybe I should have done this during the day instead of in the evening, but oops, whatever. It happens. This did happen. I did get this later in the day, so mind you on that. So now I'm going to handle this with delicate precision. Why is there a barcode on it? I don't know why. There's the just handling this as delicately as possible. Just getting it. I'm so nervous. Why is this so... Okay, take whatever. Sorry for the pause. It's just that there are times when I'm handling things so delicately, I can't tell if I'm unintentionally breaking something or not. Turns out I just didn't put in enough force. As you can clearly see, hopefully, close enough, I guess. As you can clearly see, it fits in snugly. I had to watch a few videos briefly just to make sure I wasn't going crazy, because it was kind of showing a little resistance there, but I guess I should expect that. I just get this kind of worry that I may break something, especially with something like this. Anyway, I'll be putting this back together now. Update. Now more snug than ever. Yep. Looking good. Looking good. Awkward lighting. Well, I guess it could be worse. Not bad, but could be worse. And could be worse, but anyway. Alright. Not that. Well, that is it. As you can see, yeah, man, as you can see, they are in there nice and swell. Now, if this works, the following should be some footage in action. Now, this will only be a test run. The following Let's Plays will be with this, if done correctly. So, here you go. And no, if you're looking at right now, this is something else. If you were thinking that, um, oh, the capture card was working on Elgato software. Let me explain. Anyway, sorry, I keep stammering for some reason. But anyway, you might be wondering why you aren't seeing some actual footage with the Decklink right now. Well, there's one more thing I wasn't accounting for. But before I explain the thing, I want to start by saying that to activate it via thunderbolt style, you want to have it plugged into the thunderbolt as the computer is booting up or restarting. Basically, it has to turn off and on. If you plug it in as is, it'll just be recognized as a box. It won't recognize the 4 individual HDMI ports. That is. But it does work, I can say that much. What I cannot say is something I wasn't expecting. You see, I tried with OBS, XSplit, and even their own, and even Decklink's own Media Express right here. And each one I've been given, how do I explain this? Each one has different settings, but ultimately I've been getting the same results. For example, with OBS, the signal does appear, but when I give it a 4K signal, I'm not plugged into anything, by the way, but when I give it a 4K signal, if I were to have given it a 4K signal, black magic device, well, if I were to give it any, could have sworn. Well, anyway, if I were to have given a 4K signal, but I would start to record, it would record in 1080p 60. It wouldn't record in actual 4K. And then I tried XSplit, and no signal whatsoever. It was just a black screen with audio. Interestingly, a similar thing happened where if I tried anything, black screen, but I would get some audio from this. And last I tried this, which the screen did show some, like the OBS showed some playback, but when I tried to record, I couldn't record for more than a few seconds without saying, "Oh, you were losing frames," and kicked me out. Now, why might this be? I do have a good graphics card, and I do have a good processor. What am I missing? Well, according to the data disk speed test, just oh, this is just some other stuff. According to the disk speed test, like if I were to try, say, this is my hard drive, and it's at the lowest. Yeah, as you can plainly see, it wouldn't even reach 4K. I mean, it can technically, but barely. Like, it's not much. Now, this works a lot. Let me just go for videos for the sake of argument. Right. I thought it would start automatically. As you can see, my main drive of my computer works a lot better. However, even if I were to, no, that's something else. Even if I were to, as you can plainly see, it doesn't hold too much. And if you know anything about if you know, like, I kind of stammer over my words, but 1000 AP can take quite a bit in of itself. 4K would eat up the space here. So even if I did go with it, plus I always still had issues because of the settings of certain softwares. Because even though I may be able to get in one scenario, I can't do it in the other scenarios. So there's that. Needless to say, what I need is an SSD drive to replace this hard drive. I need a good SSD drive to replace it with this so that I can record in 4K. Because if I can't, you're going to get a black screen. Or at least that's what I theorize. After going through all of this and spending kind of a bit of time trying to figure this out. But it's kind of one of those moments where where even after spending a while, you are grateful for it because you actually learn and feeling productive instead of wasting your time. But it feels very productive in this case. Anyway, I just feel there's something else I need to say, but for the meantime, if you're expecting, but you might be wondering if anyone's asking, hey, don't you have 4K resolution videos on your channel? About that. Those are upscaled from 1000 AP with Elgato Game Capture HD 60S. Yeah, about Elgato, they really know how to take care of this and make it a non-issue. Did anyone who's always used Elgato products might not, perhaps never even encountered this sort of issue, where you have to take in mind the disk speed test, because if it doesn't have enough, you get this. You get empty black screen of nothingness. And Elgato made it very user-friendly to the point you didn't have to take care of this at all. Which is kind of which I don't know how I feel about that after going through all this, because it would be nice for some developers to be a little more open about this, because they may tell you need a good graphics card, and you need this, and you need a good processor, but do they tell you need good disk speed test so that they can write at these rates? I don't think so. And that's kind of a problem there, because then you get an empty black screen and you don't know what to do. And even worse, they don't explain it, so you're spending a little while trying to figure out what the heck is going on. So, yeah. But anyway, I could have sworn. Oh, right, it was this. Yeah, I was always restrained to 1080p 90. Oh, right, must be this. I was always restrained to it. But even if I were to, try and get anything, I probably I should have plugged this in, but, oh well, it's all the same, it's all the same at the end of the day. Well, technically I got a video out of this OBS, but it was reduced to 1080p, and that didn't help things. The only thing that gave out a 4K signal was this, but even then, it wasn't a very big size, and it was by a few seconds. Yeah, that's not too much. So what you'll need is a good SSD drive to take care of it. With a good RPM rate, I think. Although I feel I'm maybe mixing up the definition with something else, because SSD drives are electronic, so yeah, I'll figure out later. Or someone can explain in the comments, I guess. But needless to say, I need a good SSD drive, and none of the other drives here are going to cut it. So, just I should explain that, and if anyone else is having trouble with this, hopefully this gives you something. So, with that said, enjoy this endless loop as I click the button to stop this recording for now. Hopefully this whole thing helped you out in some capacity, because, or at least help you figure out a lot quicker than I did. And with that said, have a nice day, and listen to me say, all as I drift towards this,